What is going on, guys? It's DigiWatch TCG coming to you with another Market Watch. Now, today we're going to be going over a bunch of cards that I think are important to at least be aware of on the market and figure out whether or not you want to make a decision to buy these cards or hold off. This is not advisement, by the way. None of this, I should say, like you should buy, but I do think that I'll say it's cheap. It's expensive. I might say I would hold off on this, but I'm trying. I don't want to influence your decision as much as possible. I just want to bring that information to your attention. So with that said, let's go into the market. So starting things off, Savior Huckmon. This card is a very good card out of Event Pack 3. It's for $31 and it quickly climbs up the market as we look down over here. 23 listings. Well, this card did see a lot of play in the initial BT6 meta as well as the BT10 meta with the new Justmon support that came out. It is the top rarity of the card, and it is a very good card to have in the deck regardless, because even in the trash, you could Chimeramon, put it back underneath Chimeramon, and then Chimeramon, as long as you have a Sistermon in play, can attack twice, which is actually a really cool combo you could do with the card. Now, $30 is currently its price, or its lowest price, but I would also consider the fact that Play TCG has not yet sent out its pricing to all its participants, and so if there are people who are going to list it, you could see a slight decrease in the price over the next couple of weeks. And we don't know anything about BT13, which is all the Royal Knight support, so don't know, like, this could get an X antibody support, it could get anything, honestly. But yeah, it's a good card in general. Yeah, okay. Bal Huckmon. It's a common in general. It's the BT6 version, and it's from the Event Pack 3. It's max rarity here. And honestly, that's why I think it's $50. It's $50 because, if you're looking to max rarity your deck, you're trying to get copies of this card. So people are taking advantage of that and putting it at the highest, reasonable price, I would say, that it could be. Now, do I think it should be $50? As a collector, probably not. But as someone who would own the card, I would say that's probably a good price that you set it at, just because that if there's only other common versions of it, and if people are really serious about playing this deck as a competitive level, or being a max rarity competitor, like, oh, I love the Huckmon line, I love the Royal Knights, want to make everything max rarity, then maybe it suits you to pick these up. But I may want to hold off and wait again till more of the packs are in circulation. Event Pack 3 will probably see a bunch of play up until maybe Nationals, or a little bit after Nationals, and then, or at least until they announce Event Pack 4. Because once Event Pack 4 comes around, Event Pack 3, it does not have any more circulation, only if it's in those events. I want to talk about some VMon stuff too. So Ultimate Cups are pretty much done for the year, and we don't get anything until start of the new 2023 season, which means that this card is probably not going to be in circulation. I mean, I could see maybe some companies, if they have multiple copies of this card, maybe throw these in as additional pricing, but officially there is no announcements of future support for this card. I mean, at least reprints of these cards. There are 23 listings, and it's going for $44 before it evenly goes up to about $50. Do I think it deserves to be this price? Absolutely. I mean, it is a regional level card, or an Ultimate Cup, level card. I do think that, the fact that there is that level of, rarity and exclusiveness to it does allow the card to stay at that price. And so it is a pretty, I think it's pretty fair to be saying that $40 is probably going to be where I see the card holding, at least for the foreseeable future. We do have All Forest Digimon coming out in BT11, and we have the VMon Imperial Digimon line getting more support in BT12. So that this card may see a lot of play. And then, if they ever put out extra armor rush or armor Digimon, you'll see more play of the VMon over here. Additionally, we do have for half the price, the first year anniversary box toppers. Now, this one I would definitely try to get some copies of for $21 to $22. I remember I was fretting so hard when this card was, I think we were in BT7 or BT8, and people were selling this for $40 because Imperial Dramon deck was going to come out, and Armor Rush and Royal Knights and all that stuff. But I do think that this is a very acceptable price for the card. Um, and if you do have the money and you do want to get your playset or a couple of copies of these cards, I would definitely go for it. Double Diamond does not see as much circulation anymore. Even in my locals, they don't have any boxes of Double Diamond. Even with like Omnimon, Ghost Rare being a chase card in that set, you're one of I think 8 cards or 10 cards that you can get from like the first year anniversary. Rather not chance it and just get your playset if you are looking to play max rarity, or at least sub, just below the max rarity. Alphamon. So in the last couple of weeks, we had an Alphamon top in the Play TCG, and they played one copy of this Alphamon, and I personally think this is a good pickup. At least one copy pickup is good because first off, you get the alternate art of the Alphamon, which I really love. I love the Gallantmon over here, and I think that's, I'm not sure who it is exactly. It could be Mirage Galgo. I could see that. No, well, maybe not. Maybe All Force. I can't really tell who the other Digimon is in the picture, but it's very low. And I remember a time where this was at 30 something dollars. If I look maybe about 6 months ago, something like, yeah, it was like 30, 35. And then once they made the announcement for Duro Gray, this just came straight down. But for alternate art copy, I think it's definitely worth it. Alphamon, or you can kind of the same reason as the other one too. $20 I think is a very acceptable price for something that was $40-50 at one point. And if they ever get additional support, maybe a new Doro Greymon or a new Grainmon or more X antibody support, which again, it's a Royal Knight, so we do have BTL 13 that we don't know anything of, but there could be some black cards that support Alphamon. So I would maybe get a extra copy of Oryukin, or at least have like a playset of them. I like to do half and half. I like two copies of the regular art and 2 copies of the alt art. So right now I'm missing 1 copy of Oryukin. I am on the verge of maybe picking up a second copy. Jessamon GX, I think this is a card that people should be on. Like $22 for a lightly played, or like if you look here, like and find like a near mint version for 22 here, like $1 or more, right? I think that it is worth it because again, BT13 we get Royal Knight support, and there is a clause on Jessamon X GX that says you could Digivolve from 4 or 5 over a Digimon with Royal Knights in its traits. Again, like that means blue, yellow, red, black, any color. You can Digivolve as long as it has that trait. And then again, it'll gain the Blitz, and if there's Digivolving effects, you place it underneath. I'm really excited to see this card because I have a feeling this card is going to blow up as soon as more set information is released about BT13. Gallantmon kind of falls into that, but we do get a Gallantmon support in BT12. And a little bit in BT13. EX 13. It is a Royal Knight too, so it'll probably get more support after that. But this is a old card. It's from BT2, and there's not as much circulation, or packs are like in general like $6-7 for a card pack, and I definitely would consider picking these up as sooner than later in order to pick these, like, if you are looking to play Gallantmon. I mean, this is just a really good collection card. I love the artwork on it too. It looks like it's right out of a comic book or a graphic novel. It just looks amazing in my opinion. Cordramon over here. Well, All Force Vitramon does not really play this card. I don't know why I was saying. Oh, it came out of the deck, sorry. But Cordramon is a card that is played in a few different decks. Security Control does play sometimes 1 or 2 copies that if it's hit out of security, it plays out. Draw 2. Or you can play Yellow Hybrid. Yellow Hybrid can use it to make Shakuamon. You could also use this card in the Examon deck, which is also a Royal Knight, and so you can see multiple copies of cards, or maybe future support coming out for these cards as well. But this is the max rarity version. This is the store championship, and there's not going to be any more store championships in 2022. So you may see these as like additional pricing for stores that maybe have extra sets of these cards. But that's it. You have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't, unfortunately. This is max rarity of the card. We have over here some information. Yeah, I wanted to switch gears after talking about all that stuff to some of the promo cards and Volume 5. So the RB set, the reprint set that coming out, I think in the first week of January, I'm not sure, does have a lot of reprints. And I'm going to talk about a bunch of those reprints as well as some stuff from BT11. But I wanted to first talk about the promos. So Hero has been seeing just general the same price, no real change. But Gamamon over here, Gamamon is $14 again. And I have a video maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago that I talked about Gamamon picking these up while they were really cheap. We know it's a protagonist Digimon that you're going to see future support. You're always going to see future support for cards that have protagonist leads. And this card here was going for $4, and now it jumped up another $10. And the deck's not bad. I mean, you could even use this with something like a Dobrikmon deck if you really wanted to. But now you've missed your chance. I really don't think it's worth picking up right now. I think people should let it see if it's going to go back down, or watch this card at least. And if it looks like it's going up, then maybe choose to make a decision on whether or not you're going to play the card. The other thing I wanted to mention here is that the green and the blue tamer cards here, Jellymon, Kiyoshiro, Ruri, and Angelomon, they all have like future support cards coming out. I think in EX4. And Jellymon here is the draw one if you have a Kiro in its name. And, All Force does possibly use this card. There's a way of using this card in there. You could also use it in the Metal Greymon, the Blue Flare deck. And then Kiro, of course, like gives your Digimon jamming, so you could use that if it has Jellymon and sources. Now, All Force can possibly use that because it's a blue tamer, and you got to figure out like what's the best like build, because this is a version of the deck that can see some play in playing the Jellymon engine as its level 3s as well as Vmons, and then be able to drop these tamers and to be able to attack your opponent's security and do multiple checks, multiple attacks to your opponent's security. But yeah, that was what I wanted to talk about. That now, in terms of more reprints, Greymon over here recently, I think this might be, yeah, I brought up both Greymons just to prove that. Greymon over here was Security +1. This is announced for a reprint now, so I wouldn't touch this price, honestly. I would not touch this card. Wait till we see what the pull rates are like. If it's something that's very, very hard to get, I mean, you're going to still see a decrease in here. This is probably going to end up being something like a $7, $8 card. For the original print, and then the reprint set, maybe it'll be a little bit lower. This one, I would say maybe goes down to $15. Just speculation, because it is a tamer party card, but less people are going to be after it because they'll already have the other Security +1 version of the card. So, you could see that. And also, of course, you get future support of War Greymon, Black War Greymon coming out, so this card will see additional like play in the future. Wanted to talk about some other Greymon supports. There's a whole bunch of Greymon stuff I want to talk about, but I'll make it really short. So Metal Greymon here, Altar. I think this is actually a decent price. It's been going down recently a lot, and it's low at $19, maybe $20 for a few sellers. It doesn't seem to go up that quickly, and there's 44 listings. And this is the alt art from BT10. Well, guess what we get in BT11? We get some more stuff for Blue Flare. And what do we get in EX4? We actually get a dark, I think it's called Dark Nightmon, or gray, dark metal. It's like, I don't know, like a gray Nightmon, I think it's called, which is a combination of Metal Greymon. So this card, I think, is actually worth getting multiple copies of, personally. Additionally, you have a good chance of actually having good longevity with this card, because if Blue Flare ends up seeing like some more and more in play in BT11, BT12, and EX4 format, then that's about a year. So this card, I think, for $20 at max rarity is definitely a good buy. Kind of what I was just mentioning before, digivolving for Metal Greymon. This one over here is Metal Greymon, so you can digivolve into a red Metal Greymon, Altarius mode, and pop a opponent's Digimon and gain that protection effect if it has a Greymon in its name on top of it, which you can go into Decker Greymon. Actually, sorry, you can't. I apologize. You can't. But there is going to be new cards that are level 6s that are able to digivolve from a 5 or a 6, I think. So this card is up in the air that you can play in that deck. You could also play it in, of course, the Black or Grandma deck coming out too. I think this is just a card that's going to see a lot of versatility, and having one or two copies of this card is absolutely worth it, in my opinion. Metal Greymon 25th Anniversary or Memorial Pack, $15 I think is decent. And honestly, if you're looking to make a playset for about $60, that's less than one box. If that's all you're looking for, then I think it's worth it. If you're just a collector and you just want one, I just would make it part of a trade personally. Let's keep going. More than halfway. I wouldn't touch this card. Just something to mention here. It's a full. I never like pre-release stamps on a card that's already a foil. I think that was a big mistake on Bandai's place. I think they should have maybe made like maybe a different artwork of these pre-release cards, but I don't know what they would have done. I just think that making the foil, maybe they should have just kept it as uncommons, having the print on it, but I don't like the pre-release stamp on there. Wanted to talk about Machine Shaman and some of the cards out over here. So I think EX1 is actually back to a good investment again. The box itself is $40, which is, if you look at like packs wise, if you were to buy 10 packs, you're getting 40. That's $40. You're getting 24 packs for the same price. And Machine German, here's your win card. If you pull an Analog Youth or if you pull a Machine German alternate art, you win at the box. You've already made $24 credit on that. But that's a big if. Now keep in mind EX sets get multiple 3 sets of like alternate arts or like secrets or stuff like that. And so you could pull like a Machine German or an Analog Youth, but you can also pull like other, good cards. I'll talk about some of these later in the video because I'm very close to them. But Diabormon, I think, is a good pick. Metal Greymon, Metal Greymon, Metal Garurumon, Gabumon, those are all really good. And also even like a sleeper pick here is the Tyrannomon alternate art, being the fact that you can we're getting the Tiger support later this year. So I do think that there's a bunch of these cards that I think is worth it. And Machine German is going to be a very powerful deck. I would even consider it to be a tier 1 deck when we get there. And so, I think it's definitely worth even the case. Like, look at the case, man. This is about the price of like 12 initial boxes. Maybe you could work out something with the store, get a case for maybe like 400 or 15-25% off, get a case, because they don't want this. They definitely don't want this, but I think it's good to have a playset of a bunch of these cards. Kind of same thing here. Just wanted to point out that the $20 for, if you were to get like 2 of these, that's the price of 1 box. I wanted to just quickly mention this. I know it's sold out, but there's a bunch of places I've seen around, especially comic book stores, that sell these sleeves. And this is Machine German on the back. And you know what a big deck is out of the next set? Machine German. So you may want to try to find these when you have a chance. Stay with Ray from this card. This was a reprint card just announced. Tai, V-Tamer, there's the initial print, but there might be like a common print or something that they put into the reprint set now. And this card is played in some of the versions of the All-Forest deck, so maybe stay away from this. Additionally, I would, well, not this one, sorry. This one I just wanted to mention, $40. I'm on the fence about whether or not you should pick it up. It's played in both Black War Greymon and the War Greymon, and it has a good investment because BT11, BT12 both have support for those archetypes. This was the one I was going to say I'm on the fence about. So Agumon gift set. Now, I really like the border. I think that's really cool to have like that red border of the card. And it just gives me some really good vibes about how this card looks. It's $21, but guess what? We also just found out this is a reprint card. So if you're just looking to get the card and not have to worry about what it looks like and you just need to play the card, maybe wait till the reprint set. Do I think this card is going to fall? Yes, absolutely. I don't think that it's necessarily worth, if you want to spend $21, I mean, you have a few weeks left to hold off on, in my opinion. Gabumon. Well, like I mentioned before, Gabumon may see some play in the future. Right now we know that Metal Garurumon or Metal X, whatever you want to call it, is still a very strong deck, but it may see some power creep in BT11. Because there's so many ways of being able to delete based on effects, or be able to block, or redirect, or not get bounced with a bunch of the cards. So Metal Garurumon might have seen its time in the sun and may just go down to nothing in the future. And the Event Pack 2 doesn't see any circulation anymore. So if you are looking to pick up this card, I would maybe consider it for $30. This Garurumon here, I would actually pick up too, because this is a version of the All Force for Bond of Friendship with All Force. This is actually kind of crazy. You attack your opponent, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and it's a Tamer. You have to pick it up. And then you can also obviously get a Galmon in its name, but you can basically attack and just be able to get a Tamer, then trigger the effects of All Force to play Tamer. So gets you the extra copy if you are missing one. Kind of going along with that, Gabumon Bond of Friendship alternate art from Double Diamond. I think that's an amazing price for $10. I think two to 3 copies of this card is fine to play. I mean, or your playset. But this is the version of the deck I was mentioning with Bond. Finishing up, we're not too many left. We only have one full set of cards left. I wanted to quickly talk about the Double Diamond though. Again, if you're playing the Gabumon Bond of Friendship deck, you could also play this version of the card. So that's just something to think about. Leomon Tamer set 1, $5. Buy it. And Leomon EX2, $11, $10. Buy it. Why? Because this is the other version of the All Force deck if you are looking to pick it up. So I should take it back about buying. Again, make your picks smartly. If you're playing the deck, pick it up. If you're looking to make a profit, maybe. But All Force is one of those card decks that is right now between 1.0, tier 1 and tier 2, because obviously it's not played as often, but it is a strong deck, and I'd say it's like a 30% representation of top decks that are reported from the OCG or Japanese meta. And this is a good card because you can play the next card for free. Look at that. Jerry. So you can play Jerry for free from the effect of your All Force. Jerry is a 4 cost, which you're basically valuing your 4 cost. And then from Jerry on play, you play Leomon. And Leomon is blocker. Or Leomon is on deletion gain too. Which is why I had these listed over here. And that's either a 5 value or a 6 value. So you're basically valuing 10 play costs, for the cost of what? Digivolving into your All Force Digimon for like 3. I really think that this is a good investment, personally, because Leomon is a fan favorite. I mean, it is a meme, but it's a fan favorite Digimon, I think, and I think a lot of people will be given some good stuff if they are looking to play like the All Force deck. That's pretty much all I have today for you guys. Hoping that Leomon makes it to next year. Take it easy. Have a fun day.